You've tried everything. The gym membership you swore you'd use 5 times a week, cutting carbs until you dreamed about bread, tracking every single calorie like your life depended on it. And yet, here you are staring at the same number on the scale, feeling like your body is actively working against you. Here's the truth that nobody wants to tell you. It's not your fault. Your body is literally programmed to fight back against diets. After you restrict calories, your metabolism slows down like a hibernating bear, and your hunger hormones surge like a tidal wave because your brain thinks you're starving. Your body doesn't care about fitting into those jeans from 5 years ago. It just wants to survive. But here's what doesn't make sense. Why are Japanese people so thin even though they eat rice and noodles every single day? Why do their convenience stores overflow with snacks on every corner? Yet they maintain an obesity rate of just 4.5% compared to America's staggering 40%. They have the world's longest life expectancy while eating carbs at every meal. Before you say genetics, let me stop you right there. It's not genetics. Maybe you're thinking they smoke less. Actually, 25% of Japanese men smoke versus only 13% of Americans. More gym memberships then? Wrong again. Only 3.3% of Japanese people have gym memberships compared to 21% of Americans. So how are they staying effortlessly slim while we're fighting an uphill battle? The answer isn't what you think. It's not about willpower or discipline or some magic metabolism. And the best part is you don't need to fly to Tokyo or spend months researching conflicting diet advice to figure this out. What if I told you there are 9 habits, backed by science, that Japan uses to stay slim without cutting carbs, skipping meals, or punishing yourself at the gym? They're simple shifts that work with your body instead of against it. Let's start with something that might make you angry. American schools serve tater tots and sloppy joes for lunch. Sometimes students literally protest because the food is so bad. Since the 1970s, profit-driven companies have dominated school meals, prioritizing cheap, processed garbage over actual nutrition. Japan does the complete opposite. Every single school lunch is planned by nutritionists and made fresh daily. Vegetables, rice, noodles, fish, pickled sides. Zero processed junk. Kids grow up craving whole foods naturally instead of being addicted to sugar before they can even tie their shoes. This is why one commenter said that compared to Americans, Japanese children learn correct nutritional knowledge from a young age, even if they grow up under parents who can't cook properly. School lunches teach them what proper, healthy meals look like every single day. But you're not a kid anymore, so what can you do? Start retraining your palate right now. Your taste buds aren't set in stone. A study from 2016 revealed that when people cut their sugar intake by just 40% for 2 months, they rated sweet foods as 40% sweeter. Your body adapts. Multiple people in the comments confirmed this. One person said that once they started moving away from junk food, their cravings completely changed. It wasn't that a burger suddenly didn't taste good anymore. They just stopped desperately wanting it. Another mentioned they now find most store-bought pastries way too sweet and avoid them entirely. Pick one processed item you eat regularly and swap it for something fresh this week. Just one. That's where it starts. Now, let's talk about fast food because Japan has 15 times more fast food chains than America. Yet somehow the Japanese remain slim. How is that possible? The difference is what counts as fast food. While Americans grab Egg McMuffins or breakfast burritos loaded with processed cheese and mystery meat, Japan offers over 4,000 rice bowl spots serving traditional meals with rice, fish, and miso soup for just $4. Their 55,000 convenience stores sell fresh rice bowls, salads, and soups, not just chips and candy. One commenter who lived in Japan for a year and a half said chopsticks and small plates were the game changer. Compare that to American convenience stores where your options are hot dogs that have been rotating under heat lamps since morning. When good food is easy and bad food takes effort, your choices improve naturally without needing superhuman willpower. The deck is either stacked for you or against you. Next time you're tempted by the drive-thru, ask yourself if there's a better option that's just as convenient. Even a quick rice and veggie bowl at home beats greasy takeout. Your metabolism will actually thank you. Here's something that sounds too simple to work, but is absolutely transformative. Smaller plates. Japanese culture follows motinai, a concept about avoiding waste. Schools don't allow lunch breaks until you finish your meal. Restaurants don't offer doggy bags the way American places do. But here's the trick. Meals come on smaller plates with more variety. Multiple small dishes instead of one giant plate piled high. This tricks your brain into feeling satisfied without overeating. Your eyes see a full plate, your stomach gets what it needs, and you're not left with that stuffed, sluggish feeling. Snack packages are pre-portioned. Unlike American supersized options where you're expected to eat half a day's calories in one sitting, Japan said the use of chopsticks and small plates made them feel satisfied rapidly. It sounds like a psychological trick because it is, but it works. You'll feel full eating less and you won't feel deprived because your plate still looks full. Let's address the elephant in the room. Sugar. Japanese people consume half the sugar Americans do. 17.7 kilograms per year versus 33.7 kilograms. Even their sodas are tiny. They drink 30 liters per year compared to Americans drinking 154 liters. When your default drink is green tea or water instead of liquid sugar, everything changes. Green tea is calorie-free, metabolism-boosting, and stress-reducing. Swap one sugary drink daily for green tea. That single change, maintained over time, compounds into massive results. Here's something that goes against what a lot of diet advice tells you. Stop snacking all day. Eating small snacks constantly doesn't boost your metabolism. That's a myth that won't die. The Japanese stick to 3 solid meals. When they do snack, it's intentional, not mindless. Ask yourself before reaching for food. Am I actually hungry, or am I just bored, stressed, or procrastinating? Small habits like this completely reset your relationship with food. Meal timing matters more than most people realize. In Japan, meals happen around the same hours every day. Breakfast by 9, lunch by 1, dinner before 8. This rhythm prevents random overeating and late-night binges. If your schedule is erratic, your body just grabs whatever's available whenever it can get it. It's a legitimate challenge, and it shows how much of health is determined by circumstances beyond individual control. But even within constraints, you can establish patterns. Fix your mealtimes as much as possible. It makes choices calmer and easier instead of panicked decisions driven by hunger. Now here's where Japan has a massive advantage that you can't just replicate by changing your habits. Walking. Exercise isn't treated as something extra you do at the gym. It's built into daily life. Kids walk or cycle to school. Adults use public transit, which means walking to the station, climbing stairs to the platform, standing during the commute, then walking to work. Compare this to most American cities, where you drive from your house to your office parking lot, sit at a desk all day, drive to a restaurant where you park right outside, then drive home. You might walk 2,000 steps total, and that's not because Americans are lazy. It's because the infrastructure makes it nearly impossible to do anything else. The environment is working against you. You don't need marathons or intense gym sessions. Small movements daily add up. Even choosing stairs over elevators builds that movement habit. Park farther away from store entrances. Think of it as sneaky exercise built into your day, rather than a separate activity you have to force yourself to do. Here's something you can start today. Slow down when you eat. Using chopsticks and multiple small dishes naturally slows down eating. Your brain needs about 20 minutes to signal fullness. If you inhale your food in 8 minutes using a fork and spoon, you'll eat far more than you need before your body can tell you to stop. Put your fork down between bites. Have an actual conversation during the meal instead of eating while staring at your phone. Eating more slowly improves digestion and prevents overeating without you even thinking about it. This brings us to something deeper, treating food as an experience. In Japan, meals are respected. No scrolling on phones, no eating on the run while driving. When you pile food on one plate like most Americans do, you feel pressure to eat it all, even if the server gave you way too much. When food is shared in small dishes, no one can tell exactly how much you ate, and there's no pressure. When you savor food and truly pay attention, every meal becomes meaningful. Mindful eating drastically reduces overeating and transforms your relationship with food. But we need to be honest about something that a lot of health advice ignores. The system is rigged. When over half your paycheck goes to rent, every dollar counts. Processed junk food isn't just convenient. It's the most economically rational choice for millions of people. High fructose corn syrup is in everything from bread to yogurt to pasta sauce. It's been linked to obesity and kidney failure, yet 90% of American food lists it in the top 3 ingredients. Many ingredients that are completely normal in American food are banned in Europe and Japan. The food quality itself is fundamentally different. People ate more protein back then with bacon and eggs for breakfast, steaks, chicken, fish, all freshly prepared. Then industrially produced cereals and drinks with tons of sugar and ready-made meals came along. The infrastructure of health collapsed. Japanese schools teach nutrition systematically throughout education. There are actual classes about health and nutrition with tests. Television programs regularly feature health information. Japanese people have proper nutritional knowledge from childhood, and people who don't pay attention to food and health are looked down upon. It's a cultural value, not just an individual choice. Compare this to American schools started working in the New York school lunch system. Most food was prepared fresh, but by the time they left, everything was processed. Here's the real secret that ties everything together. Hara Hachi Bu. Eat until you're 80% full. It's not a diet rule or something people do when they're trying to lose weight. It's just how Japanese people are taught to eat from childhood. In Western countries, we're raised with the opposite message. Clean your plate. Don't waste food. There are starving children somewhere who would love that meal. The underlying message is always to eat everything in front of you, regardless of how you feel. The 80% rule flips this completely. Instead of eating until you physically can't fit another bite, you stop when you're comfortably satisfied. Your stomach has time to send signals to your brain. You avoid that heavy, sluggish feeling. So here's the big takeaway that actually matters. Staying slim isn't about restriction or extreme dieting or punishing yourself. It's about small, mindful habits. Balanced meals with variety instead of giant portions of the same thing. Natural movement built into daily life instead of forced gym sessions. Consistent meal timing that works with your body's rhythms. And most importantly, respect for food. When you stop treating eating as something you do while multitasking and start treating it as an experience worth paying attention to, everything shifts. You don't need perfect willpower. You need better systems. You need an environment that makes healthy choices easy instead of hard. You need to retrain your palate gradually so you stop craving junk. You need smaller plates that make reasonable portions look satisfying. You need to slow down and give your body time to tell you it's had enough. These aren't dramatic changes that require overhauling your entire life overnight. They're small adjustments that compound over time. Figure out what the habits of healthy weight individuals are and adapt them one at a time every 6 weeks. Make changes you can maintain indefinitely instead of going on extreme benders that leave you miserable and counting down the days until you can stop. Start with one thing. Just one. Maybe it's putting your fork down between bites. Maybe it's swapping one soda for green tea. Maybe it's using a smaller plate for dinner. Maybe it's asking yourself if you're actually hungry before snacking. Pick the one that feels most doable right now and do it consistently for 2 weeks. Then add another. Small habits compound. Your body will adapt. Your cravings will change. And slowly, without the constant battle and frustration, you'll find yourself moving toward the person you want to be. Not through force, but through working with your body instead of against it.